Wow, that's fast. There isn't much of a countdown like there is in Restream.
There we go. Always testing.
Testing one, two, three. Is this thing on, people? Good morning, everybody. I hope. Wow, that's fast. There isn't much of a countdown. Oops, I better mute that. Okay, so there's a delay.
What kind of delay do we have going on?
Testing one, two, three. Is this thing on, people? It's only about, I don't know, 15 seconds.
Okay, cool.
I gotta
Yeah,
turn
now
the
I'm getting
audio.
that. Now I am getting the echo off of, or whatever audio is being picked up
Yeah,
from.
yeah. Hold on
Whatever.
one second. I'm just trying to find the dang mute on this.
What kind of delay do we have going on?
Oh crap!
All right. So while Brent's looking for that, we are testing, and that's what we do, and working out loud as we go. So what we've done is we've moved the
Okay.
full live version over to the Live with Brent and Mike YouTube channel. And this is the only way that you'll be able to stream the conversation live. We'll have you go to this, go here every morning, Monday through Thursday at 9 o'clock, Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. And we're going to work through all the different things. We're also using, instead of using Restream, we're using Ecamm. And one of the things that's going to drive me absolutely nuts is looking at the delayed blips of me speaking when I talk. So we're going to have to figure that piece out as we continue to keep things moving along. So if you know somebody who you'd expect to see here that isn't here, share the link. Let's spread the word out there. I put a post on LinkedIn. I put a post on X, and we'll spread the word. Wendy, it is good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, Wendy. It's fun because I saw your comment pop up in my comments and reactions section in Ecamm. So I'm not too sure how much of a delay there is there between the good morning you put on YouTube and the comments and reactions, but it didn't look like it was that much of a delay. So I will keep my eye on both to see when that happens. And yeah, we'll go from there. We have some new music today, too. And for today's show, we're also, for those people who might be new or who check out this recording, we are experimenting with AI, doing this news show for L&D professionals and leadership professionals, HR folks, corporate people going through this AI transition. That's why we're here, hopefully to make it a little bit more fun for everybody. There seemed to be, and maybe there still is, a lot of angst, wouldn't you say, Mike? People concerned and worried, and a trend around if you don't do this, then this will happen to you type posts.
Well, that seems to be the way that the at least the last producer would write the news stories. So we'll see how this producer writes the news stories. But I think it's all part of the same game. There's this piece of guilt if you're behind, or feeling of guilt if you're behind, that gets spread out there. And really, what we want to do with this show is help you, in the words of Brian Fanzo, push the button and keep pushing the button, and then reflect on what happens after you push the button, and then choose what you want to do next. So let's learn, think, and act as we move through this. So yeah, there's definitely angst, and that happens when things start changing, when there's uncertainty, and there are people motivated to continue to drive more and more of that uncertainty.
Well, I don't think we'll ever, I don't think we're ever going to get past the uncertainty at this point, with everything changing so fast. So we'll try to help people just get comfortable, I think is the best way.
It's like having kids. I don't know, or kids, or maybe even a new pet in the house, and actually even a new pet around kids in the house. You never know
if you have both, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'll pray for you.
Like, I would question some of your choices, but or decision making. But when you when you bring these things together that you don't have control over, and really, what do you actually have control over? You have control over your attitude and the initiative you take. But when you bring these things together and you don't have control over them, then there's a lot of uncertainty. And unfortunately, there are also a lot of people out there who are just a step or two ahead, who are helping to flame the uncertainty by telling you exactly how you need to do all of this and what you should be doing and all of that other kind of stuff. And what we're going to do, and we've been doing, is we're sharing what we're doing, not what you should be doing, but what we're doing as we go through this and as we kind of learn and have a little bit of fun, which includes my least favorite thing to do every day, which is read off the script.
But we're all learning, and we appreciate Wendy being here and dropping a comment in. If you saw this link somewhere on one of our social media posts and you're joining us and you're just lurking and watching, welcome. I hope you find this valuable. But let us know what you want to hear us talk about, and if you know what you like and what you don't like about what we are doing. It'll be fun. And wow, there's hardly any lag at all between posting comments in the YouTube and me seeing it in the comments and reactions, which is kind of cool.
I sound like I'm in an auditorium.
Do you?
Well, that's what Wendy's saying. Huh.
Tap
We'll
your
take a look.
microphone again, and let me make sure we're picking up on that microphone. Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
It sounds good coming through mine. It doesn't sound any different, but that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for letting us know, Wendy. That's exactly the kind of feedback we need from everybody on the live stream as we go through. Before we jump into the thing you hate to do the most, reading of the script, let's share what you want to do, what you're going to do with your new toy that's coming in the mail.
Oh, I'm not ready to share on any of that kind of stuff yet.
Yeah, but you're doing it so you could tease it. As long as we're helping people, we should let them know that you're going to do something super cool.
To do a better job at is not multitask and try to do two different things at once. And right now I'm looking to see if there's any way for me to adjust the gain on my microphone to see what's going on that side. So, all right, I am going to update some of the hardware that we've got in the business. So I've ordered a new machine, which then gives us the ability to move some other machines around the house, which then gives us an inside the business, which then gives us the ability to run a local our local bots. And I don't know exactly what I want to call this thing just yet. Like, I don't know if I want to say it's going to be a local set of agents, or if it's a local set of bots, or a local set of tasks. But the local set of tasks that we're going to first test is fire myself from the post-production of the podcast. And once I've got the hardware in hand and kind of started to build out the plan and that kind of stuff, I'll share that live with the group, and we'll see what we're able to build. And if this works out well, we're going to build it off of some relatively old tech, which means that laptop that you got sitting around that's collecting dust somewhere in the house, you might be able to blow the dust off of it, wipe it, and then build your own local bot in your household. And that's the other part of this. This local bot will not ever be connected to the interwebs. At least that is my plan. We'll see what happens, because there's certain updates that you've got to do and different things. But from a security perspective, I want to say, okay, well, what does it look like if we do everything locally, and how do I handle that? So anyway, that's the cool test that will be going on, and I should have the new machine in hand in within the next 2 weeks.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm
turn
looking
down your gain. She's saying turn down the gain. Huh. Yeah, I don't, Brett, I don't see
I,
any.
I turned you down a little bit, but I don't know if
Yeah,
the gain on my end is going to help with this at all.
yeah, I don't know. We'll test. We'll figure it out.
Testing, and retesting is what we do.
So if you have already gone through the process of building this out, I'd love to hear your story and what you did, what you wouldn't, what you did, what you learned, what you wouldn't do again, and a lot of it, I'm going to lean on the um, the traditional LLMs to help build because I'm not a coder. I have a pretty mean set of skills when it comes to VLOOKUP and concatenate and some formulas in Excel and moving data together. Um, but yeah, it's coding is not my thing. So this could be a non-technical person who likes technology, building with new technology and following a bit of directions as we go along, and then letting the bot do its thing. My goal with this though is to outsource all of the post-production for the podcast, and then any other content that gets created going forward.
Awesome. I think it's a fantastic goal, for sure. Well, are we ready for some news? I think we're warmed up.
Sure.
I know how excited you are. Do you have your script ready?
I do. I'm actually going through over to the left here. I've got the YouTube stream, so I can kind of monitor it, and then interact inside the chat. So
Awesome.
there we go. I'm ready when you are.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to hit a couple buttons, and we'll just kind of see how this goes today. All right, here we. Oh wait. I don't know if that's the song I was going to hit or not. Well, here we go. Let's just try it. Here we go.
Well, hey there, folks.
And of course, that didn't
Rise
work.
and shine. It's live with Brent and Mike. I got your coffee brewing, feeling fine. It's live with Brent and Mike. Live with Brent and Mike. Live with Brent and Mike. It's time for today's headlines. It's time for today's headlines.
Good morning, and welcome to the L&D Morning Brief, the only morning show where learning objectives is not just corporate jargon, it is a lifestyle.
I'm Mike,
I'm Brent.
and folks, put down your lukewarm conference room coffee because today we have 5 stories that are legitimately going to change the way you think about your job, your platforms, your learners, and possibly the entire nature of intelligence itself.
Well, Mike, you're starting hot.
Yeah, we don't start any other way, Brent.
No, we do not. Let's get into it. I did have a little ditty for breaking news, but that's not going to happen today. So we'll just jump right into it. All right, story 1. And yes, this is breaking news, even though it dropped 5 days ago on March 4th, because frankly, if you are in L&D and you haven't read this yet, Brent and Mike are staging an intervention right now on live television.
Here's the headline. OpenAI, the people who make ChatGPT, the thing your learners are definitely not using to cheat on your compliance modules,
Definitely not.
has launched something called the Learning Outcomes Measurement Suite, or LOMS for short. This is not just another EdTech press release. This is a full-blown longitudinal measurement framework designed to answer the question that has haunted every L&D professional since the dawn of e-learning. Does any of this stuff actually work?
Here's what makes this genuinely big. Most research methods have focused on narrow performance signals, such as test scores, and lack the ability to assess how students actually learn with AI in real-world settings and how that use shapes overcomes over time. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be written, but OpenAI is trying to fix that gap.
Right. So OpenAI partnered with Estonia's Estonia, isn't that out of Dilbert? Estonia's University of Tartu and Stanford's Scale Initiative, Stanford's Accelerator for Learning, to build a framework that tracks not just did they pass the quiz, but actual longitudinal cognitive changes, motivation, metacognition, productive engagement, autonomous learning behavior.
These are the things we care about, right? This is literally Kirkpatrick levels 3 and 4 territory, Mike.
It is. I got emotional writing the rundown. I'm not going to lie. Oh yeah, there's my emotion.
OpenAI, in partnership with Estonia's University of Tartu and Stanford's Scale Initiative, is track. Oh wait, was I supposed to read that?
Yeah, that's you.
Oh, okay. It sounds like I'm just repeating what you said. Oh well. Is tracking longitudinal learning outcomes, assessing interactions, engagement, cognitive growth, and alignment with pedagogical principles.
And the early results: microeconomics students using ChatGPT study mode achieved around a 15% higher exam scores than those relying on traditional online resources. 15% on a standardized exam.
Yikes. Now, that does. Why does this matter to L&D professional to the L&D professional community? Here's why. Every year, L&D teams fight for budget. Every year, somebody in finance says, "How do we know this training is working?" And every year, we show them completion rates and smile nervously.
The LOMS framework, if it goes open source as OpenAI plans, the company says it plans to publish findings and eventually release the measurement suite as a public resource for schools and universities. So give corporate L&D a validated research-backed methodology to measure real learning impact. This is exactly what L&D professionals have been looking for a long time. They want somebody else from outside of the space to tell them what to do with their new tool and how to do it. Every L&D professional I know is looking for that.
Well, thank God it's finally here. Bottom line.
So my feedback so far on Claude, and this is good. We got to shorten it. It's we stayed in the story too long. What do you think?
Yeah, I do too. But this is why I wanted to test it out. Yeah, it's because the stories were kind of too short for a while. So
yeah. This one all of a sudden turned into a novel.
But it is the breaking news story, and it is super important. And it's wow.
I love that. I love it when. What I would like to know, and Wendy, I'd like to see this in the comments if you've got it. Okay, actually, we have got a comment. To me, that's basic ID. That's the basic ID. I'd like to see the formulas because it's not too hard to compare numbers. I think so. I think that's going to be interesting. It's like the question: does it help or does it not? Does it add value to this space or does it not? Yeah. Good morning, Craig. How are you doing?
Craig, boy, we are going off the edge here.
What's awesome is I go and I start ad-libbing, and then Brent starts moving comments around in the other frame. So
I'm trying
at
to
no
show.
at no point are either of us paying attention to each other. So
Yeah, well,
here
I just kept hoping that I thought that the new comments would start at the top and work their way down, but apparently they start at the bottom and work their way up. So I'm gonna redesign this particular scene for tomorrow's show, so we get the most recent comments showing in our comment section there. So
I appreciate that Craig's humor's here. He always appreciates being told how to use his tools.
yes, I have no doubt that he does. There's supposed to be a way for me to. Never mind. I was gonna. Yep. Anyways, moving on. We should probably hit that next story since they're so long. Maybe the regular stories won't be as long as the opening one. Oh, I have a last line. If OpenAI is now your measurement vendor, your CLO needs to know about this before your next budget meeting. There you go. And I've got no music.
It's super interesting. If OpenAI is now your measurement vendor, your CLO needs to know about this before your next budget meeting. It's a good thing we've got a seat at the table. Story number 2.
Yeah, let's move on. Let's not get into that. Sorry, I said, yeah, let's not get into that.
Story number 2. And this one comes from the neuroscience world, which means it's directly relevant to every single instructional designer on earth who has ever cited cognitive load theory in a design doc. Brent actually cited cognitive load yesterday.
Which is all of us, right? Yes, indeed, I did.
All of us. So here's the deal. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University published a study in Nature Machine Intelligence that is causing a full-on rethink of how AI learns and, by extension, what it tells us about human learning.
Here's the headline finding. AI systems built with biologically inspired structures can produce activity patterns similar to those seen in the human brain even before they undergo any training.
Before any training. They didn't look at a single image. They didn't process a single data point, and their neural activity already resembled a human brain.
So you mean to tell me my learners already have the architecture to learn? We just need to stop burying them.
I'm going to call you out. I did not notice the mock outrage. I clutched my chest.
You did a great job. I'm sorry. I wasn't. My mock outrage. So you mean to tell me my learners already have the architecture to learn? We just need to stop burying them in 47 slide PowerPoints.
That's exactly what I'm telling you.
The lead researcher, Mick Bonner, just don't pronounce that wrong, assistant professor of cognitive science at Johns Hopkins, put it beautifully. The way the AI field is moving right now is to throw a bunch of data at the models and build compute resources the size of small cities. That requires spending hundreds of billions of dollars. Meanwhile, humans learn to see using every little data. Very little data.
Humans learn with very little data. Write that on a Post-it note. Stick it to your content. Stick it on your content library.
Because for us in L&D, the implication is massive. We've been designing learning like we're training in a 2024 AI model. Dump information, repeat, assess, dump more. But Bonner says that by starting with the right blueprint and incorporating insights from biology, we may be able to dramatically accelerate learning in AI systems.
And that's also the premise of virtually every great instructional design model ever created. The architecture of how you design learning matters more than the volume of content you produce. Meaningful structure, spaced practice, emotional engagement, relevance.
Evolution figured it out. Maybe our LMS content teams should take the hint.
To the human brain, still the most effective, efficient learning system on the planet.
Oh,
Come on, dude.
it wasn't a
Force me
movie
to
quote, but we were told to drink according to
keep up with the script.
the executive producer. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So I mean, I think Claude's writing is better. We'll see if we could tighten it up. What's the? I mean, basically, the takeaway from this is that, hey, the brain's kind of good at what it does. The people who try to make the brain work better are the ones that get in the way of the brain being able to do its thing. So give your people access to the stuff, put them in a place where they can actually start to do some of the stuff, and some of them will start to figure it out. And when those figure it out, the other humies around them will start to figure out around them, and then the other ones will start to figure out around them. And before you know it, you get everybody kind of moving along, and the ones who are ahead of the curve will start to lead the others, and you start to identify some gaps. You create some space to help people overcome challenges that they're running into, and you get people back to work. So the brain's kind of a cool thing, I think, is what this tells.
It's amazing how we're kind of built with all the things we need. It's
we've been on this rock for a while. Right?
Just floating through space, just doing our thing, just evolving. That's all.
And I know it's shocking to a lot of people. But we accomplished a lot without an LMS.
Shocking. I know. Really,
Is
I think
is
the real.
Is it in the LMS? Will I be able to manage my check-in, check-out procedure so I know that the overhead projector is not double booked into two different rooms? Because
Speaking of overhead projectors double booked in two different rooms, it's not posted yet, but I'll be doing a webinar on a similar topic, the history, 50 years of L&D stuff for the e-learning brothers. Keep an eye out for that as a side note. But I'll tell you, I think the best part of this particular script was, and the highlight for me was the AI breaking it down to meaningful structure, spaced practice, emotional engagement, and relevance. That to me pretty much nails it, and it nails what we currently are missing in most courses that sit within the LMS. Which is why nobody looks at them, and which is why we have what we like to call the content graveyard or tech debt, the L&D version of tech debt, anyways.
Craig's comment in here: should an LMS be completely contained going forward, i.e., having all the creation tools built in, or using common PPT, PDF, videos, etc.? Yeah, that's exactly what we should do. Is we should just control things further and create more obstacles for people to build, deploy, and learn. That was, what did they say? Tongue in cheek, or my sarcasm?
Tongue firmly planted in cheek.
That's doing away with scorn. How many people out there? What percentage of the population out there that's learning something cares about SCORM?
0. Okay, maybe no, 0.
Come on, there's got to be an ID person who's learned something recently. So, but
they did. But they didn't go into the LMS to learn it, and they didn't use a SCORM package, right? This is the dirty little secret about our industry. We are the ones that create all of these roadblocks, but none of us actually go to the products we create to learn anything. Are you kidding me? Come on, Mike. When was the last time you thought to yourself, I need to learn something, I'm going to go sign into an LMS, even though you don't work at a corporation? Did the thought ever cross your mind?
Well, I mean, is YouTube a learning management system?
Well, in the most metaphoric, esoteric way possible, but not in the way our industry views an LMS.
I think I'm going to add that to my list of tags on LinkedIn. I am metaphoric and esoteric. The it's yeah, it's so do you here's I want to know this is what I want to know. Ooh, I got a problem. I'm aware. I have figured out that the problem or this thing that I need to do exists. Then I want to figure out, okay, has somebody else solved this thing at some point in time before? Like, is there a solution that already exists where somebody's put that together? Ooh, okay. Where do I go find that thing? Where can I go to find that thing? And then I want it to be super, super, super simple for me to be able to find the thing I need so I can get back to doing the thing I was doing before I ran into the problem. Like that's, if I think about just like order of operation type stuff, I need to be aware. I need to be interested in solving. I need to know where to go grab the thing. And then once I grab it, then I can go do it. And if you're adding more steps for the sake of job security, you're getting in the way of progress inside your business. And Brent, what is training?
Training is an event, learning is a process, technology supports them both, and performance improvement is our ultimate goal. What we're trying to achieve.
So if that's the ultimate goal, just come back to this whole thing and say, now we've got teal. The comments have turned to teal. Now it's flashing. We've got flashing.
Sorry,
Can you play the rave version of our intro music?
I tried to do something fun and I blew it. I'm sorry.
Does this? I think just asking this basic question: does this help the team get closer or further away does it help the team get closer to the objective? If yes, good. If no, why is it there? Is it there because we need it for compliance reasons? If yes, okay, go. If no, then maybe now we need to remove it. Yeah. And I know it's yeah. So Wendy's comment, it's all great, but in corporate, we want people coming to the LMS, as you put it, to justify the cost of the department. But in the end, everyone's learning path is their own, so you can only push so much. Yeah, and Wendy, this is the challenge that I've got, and that I force people to work through when I work with them, which is why some people don't like working with me. But it's really work through the whole piece of, is this thing necessary? Like, what problem does this thing solve? And do we need it? And do we care? The sign-in sheets, what were the sign-in sheets way back when? What was the reason why we had sign-in sheets?
Right at the door for compliance.
Yeah. So you knew that somebody came in and you knew that somebody left. And sometimes you do like pre-test and post-test kind of assessment. And the cool thing about that was you could take your pre-test and your post-test, and you could say the people who answered the question, or more people answered the questions properly at the end of the training than when it started. So the training was effective. And I still kind of get back to this whole piece of, so for my corporate, we have to have it. Yeah. So I agree, Wendy, I understand. Like we have to have systems. Like there's always going to be a system that's in place. The question that I've got is the system designed to achieve to fit the purpose in the most efficient and effective way possible? Or is it designed to meet somebody else's objective that may or may not be aligned with the business objectives? And if it is, then, and you're okay with it, then keep going. And Don't just have things in there for the sake of having them in there. But I'm fortunate. I mean, the size of my organization is 4 people.
And it's a unique organization. It's a unique family structure.
Yeah. So so it's different. I can also tell you that there are a number of, let me think. Last 3 companies, one of them currently does. So, 3 of the last 4 organizations I've worked with did not have a learning management system. And for whatever reason, they actually still make money.
Simulated shock? Is that what was the script said? What did it say? Mock outrage. Yes, that's.
There you go.
Or mock shock, I guess I should say. All right. Well, and we should probably move on to human and culture before we run out of time. Because, boy, we got a boatload of stories after that, too.
All right. Story number 3. And this one is the slow burn story. Just what we want. We want to speed up, and we're going to go slow burn. It's been building all year for the last 8.5 weeks. But the Talent LMS 2026 L&D benchmark report, combined with everything coming out of training industry and HR Dive, paints a very clear picture of where the human side of learning is headed.
I love a benchmark report that confirms all my suspicions and gives me ammo for the next leadership meeting.
Then you are going to love this.
For the 3rd year running, employees say lack of time is their top obstacle to training. Despite all the talk of flexible, in the flow of work learning, employees continue to struggle to fit it in. The second most common blocker, not enough hands-on practice. Nearly a third of employees said their training was too theoretical.
Too theoretical? 1/3? We were out here building scenario-based e-learning and branching simulations, and people are still saying it's too theoretical?
Which either means we're not building enough of it or we're not building it for the right moments.
All right, I cannot say this with a straight face, but I vote both.
Now here's the culture shift that should have everyone paying attention. Corporate learning in 2026 is shifting from program-led training to continuous capability learning. Skills-based learning is replacing role-based training because it maps learning to how work evolves, not how roles were once defined.
This is the biggest structural shift in L&D strategy since we stopped printing manuals. Have we stopped printing manuals? The question is no longer what does this person's job description say they should know. The question is, what can this person do right now to move the work forward?
And there's a manager problem baked into this. LinkedIn learning data cited in the training industry piece shows that manager-driven development support has declined year over year. Managers are supposed to be the coaches of this skills-based model, and they are quietly ghosting the role.
We're asking managers to be learning coaches, and managers are saying with their actions, I have 11 direct reports, 4 active projects, and a standing Monday 9 a.m. that could have been an email. I do not have time to coach. And we'll keep going.
Which is exactly why L&D needs to build systems that support skill development in the flow of work, not programs that require manager bandwidth to execute.
Brandon Nowd, CEO of LearnUpon, put it well, in 2026, L&D will be a proactive partner shaping workforce strategy by informing decisions about skill investment, culture transformation, and the capabilities needed for long-term growth.
Proactive partner, not just course factory. Write that down.
All right.
Okay,
So
insert mockery and total abuse, but
dude, like, I mean,
I don't even know.
First off, if you were inside a business and you're asking your managers to be coaches, you're now starting to change the title of their role from manager to director.
Ooh, that's
I know it's
deep.
nuanced.
Please expand, Mike.
Yeah, so I know it's nuanced. I get it. It's, when you manage something, you think about like managing the process. You're just helping things move from one place to another. You're not doing the process, you're managing the process. When you're managing the kitchen, you're making sure that all the resources are in the right place at the right time to get the thing done that needs to get done. You're moving things, you're managing resources, so time, energy, people, as you go through it. That's not the role of a manager, is not to coach or they're not the leader in the business. They may not be enabled or empowered to do those kind of things, but if we're expecting them to do it, then we can't have them have a team of 12 people. Bezos said it this way at some point in time, and many times this has been it's the team should not be any larger than what you can feed with 2 pizzas. And 12 people is a lot to manage. You could be an enabler, and now you can enable maybe 20 people, not manage those people. You want the people to self-manage, but let's figure out exactly what we're calling people and where we're at, what we're asking them to do. But having the manager also coach people in a team that size is, without giving them the capability, I think was one of our bigger challenges that we've got out there. The other challenge that we've got out there is when the manager is coming back and saying that they've got a 9:00 meeting that could be an email. If they're the one leading the meeting, that's on them. Like, then cancel the meeting and turn it into an email. So anyway, I think it's funny. Actually, I think it's cute that we're going to come back to this kind of stuff, and we're going to put it on the managers, who, anytime that you have a conversation with one of those managers, you realize they are either under they lack in capability, or they lack in resources, and many times they lack in both of those because of how the system has been operated. But management is not leadership. So,
well, I just think it's interesting, and we get these stories, and I think we're going to continue to get these stories because this whole skill thing is going to continue to pop up. And I was thinking about this yesterday too, that I'm going to try really hard not to be so judgmental of some of these stories when they pop up again and again and again. Because you and I have been here now for 100 shows now or so, testing and trying to figure this out. And so we kind of roll our eyes when we see some of this stuff pop up because we've talked about it before. But since people have not been with us through this whole ride so far, I'm going to try and pretend like it's the first time for us too. So
let's jump over. I think we jump over, just from a timing standpoint. I think we jump over the industry specific. If you want to read the industry specific one, just send Brent and I a comment, and you can join us in the Slack channel, and you'll be able to see. We'll start sharing the scripts out there so you could see this stuff, or we'll share components of it so you can go back in and see the details behind it. I think the authoring one is a good one to get into as we wrap up things. And yes, I mean, so what you'll see as we go through this is Brent will work to keep us on the rails, and some of you might think that's funny. And I will not be able to hide my frustration and disdain and irritation with the idiocy, excuse me, of what we end up doing from time to time, and the amount of times that some of this stuff gets repeated. Yet we get frustrated with how complex the things are we're working on. But the reality is, it's not new. We've been there before. These are things that people have been talking about for a long period of time. And ultimately, the reason why they continue to persist is because we allow other things to get in the way of us doing our jobs.
So just as a, just to blow past the industry specific story, we were going to be talking about radioactive degree alert. Purdue goes nuclear on pharma training. So yeah, if you want to read about that story, let us know. We'll share the links, post the links, all that kind of good stuff. But we're going to jump right to the authoring tools and platforms story number 5. And this one has been brewing since January, Mike. The other one had been brewing for the last 6 months. Oh no, it was a year, I believe. But this one's been brewing since January, apparently, but deserves a full segment because the implications are still rippling through the industry.
I got sidetracked by responding to a comment. Ripping through the industry, Docebo, one of the premier enterprise LMS platforms on the planet, listed on both the NASDAQ and the Toronto Stock Exchange, has acquired 365 Talents, a French AI-powered skills intelligence company, for approximately $55 million.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la indeed, Brent. And this is not just an M&A story. This is a thesis statement about where the entire learning platform market is going.
Here's the core problem Docebo is solving. Most L&D teams know they have skill gaps. They run assessments. They build frameworks. They generate lovely dashboards. And then, as the Brandon Hall Group put it, very little changes in how work actually gets done. The challenge isn't identifying what skills matter. It's building the mechanisms to grow those skills at the speed business demands.
Yeah, 365 Talents brings something to Docebo that most LMS vendors are faking. Real skills intelligence. Not we tag this course with these competencies, but AI agents that continuously map workforce capabilities across your entire organization. And they do this in real time and then trigger learning based on actual detected skill gaps tied to actual business priorities.
Docebo President and CEO Eliseo Artufo said, by bringing 365 Talents into Docebo, we're using AI agents to turn skills into a living capability that drives learning, career mobility, and workforce decisions in real time.
A living capability. That's the phrase that should be on your next L&D strategy deck. Skills are not static. Learning is not a one-time event. Training is, as Brent has shared with us. And your LMS should not be treating them like a filing cabinet.
Now, what about the integration timeline, Mike? Because we know people are nervous about buying a platform mid-acquisition.
It's a fair concern. Docebo is taking a measured approach. 365 Talents will operate as its own brand through 2026. Customers can integrate the two platforms today through API connections with a more streamlined integration plan for the first half of the year and a tighter, more differentiated, unified experience in the second half. So it's a phased rollout, not a rip and replace.
And this is part of a bigger wave. Unleash reported on 5 major HR tech acquisitions in the first 2 months of 2026 alone, including Phenom's acquisition of Be Applied and Included AI, Perceptix's purchase of AI native learning platform Lyceum, and Remote's purchase of Atlas, all signaling a move toward unified platforms that connect hiring, skills, learning, and workforce mobility.
The fragmented tool era is ending. The integrated intelligence era is beginning.
And if your organization is still running a 2019 vintage LMS with no skills layer, no AI, and no connection to workforce planning, this acquisition is the market sending you a memo.
A very expensive $55 million bilingual memo.
Avec beaucoup d'intelligence artificielle.
That was terrible. And I loved it.
All right, before we let you go, face your day. Here's the Monday morning cheat sheet.
Number one, OpenAI just launched LLaMS, a longitudinal learning management framework that could finally give L&D teams real proof of learning impact. Watch this space and start thinking about how it applies to corporate training.
Number two, Johns Hopkins says brain-like AI architecture outperforms data-heavy training approaches. For instructional designers, the lesson is ancient and eternal. Good structure beats more content, always.
And number three, the skills-based learning is the new organizational operating system. Role-based training is getting phased out. Your managers need to become learning coaches, whether they like it or not.
Number four, Purdue built America's first graduate degree in radiopharmaceutical manufacturing. When an industry explodes faster than the workforce can keep up, L&D builds the infrastructure. That's our superpower.
And number five, Docebo just spent $55 million to tell the world that the LMS plus skills intelligence equals the future of learning platforms. If you're evaluating vendors in 2026, add this lens to your RFP.
That's the L&D Morning Brief for Monday, March 10th, 2026. I'm Brent.
And I'm Mike.
Keep learning and make it matter.
It's time for today's headline.
Oh, wrong song.
All right. So,
Can you hear the sound?
Alive with Brent.
No, well.
God, no. That is so bad.
What?
Why? Because every once in a while it just gets stuck in my head for whatever friggin' reason, and it basically is challenging every belief that I've ever thought about my ability to control my brain. So there you go. That's so. I think Claude made a really good run at a first run of show, kind of thing, like the first script, because this is the first one that the first time that we've used it, and I liked it. I think it did pretty well. The things I'd want to prompt it to do is shorten up the back and forth. Like, what would happen if the entire brief was a 15-minute brief?
Yep. That's what I'm going to ask it to do. I'm going to ask it to keep the script to a specific time frame. So if he writes a script for 15 minutes and we banter in between stories, then it stretches out to maybe 20 or so, and that's okay. Because the funny thing is the one that Grok was doing and the one that the way Gemini was doing it kept it pretty consistently at about 5 minutes. If you went right through the script, it was about a 5-minute long script.
Yeah. So maybe if that's the case, if that's what Grok was doing and Gemini was doing, then maybe instead of 15-minute, it just felt longer because of the banter. Then maybe we do 5 minutes and see what happens there. Like, what's a 5-minute version? Didn't
it feel like the other scripts didn't go deep enough, didn't kind of explain the story as deeply as Claude did it? I'm going to say, let's do 10 minutes for tomorrow. I'll add it in and just see how it goes.
Did you put a timeline on this one or no?
No.
Okay, so let's do 15. So have it rerun this same one. Say rerun this script with a 15-minute time target, and let's see what the difference is between words. Maybe ask what the word count is first of this one. Anyway, I mean, there's a couple of different ways that we can go ahead and do it, but it'd be interesting to see or hear what it expected as far as the timing. I thought it was good. I thought the news was more relevant in this one. Now it's the first go, so I don't know if, like we were talking about, some of the repetition, if Claude is going to run into a lot of the same repetition. You know me, I'm a big fan of this push toward let's build skills, let's not over focus on tools. I still think one of the big challenges it's facing many folks who are in this profession and operate in this space is how do we clarify what are the necessary skills? And that's why I think the 365 Talents acquisition by Docebo is super interesting, because now we're starting to look at some other data points that say, hey, here are the gaps that you have relative to the skills that are required inside this area of the business that's happening. I'd like to see more focus in this space around jobs to be done, because I think that's a very simple way to break things down into smaller parts. From a design perspective, one of the core parts of design, at least from my standpoint, is being able to deconstruct things, break things up into smaller pieces, and then determine of those smaller pieces which ones are necessary and which ones are not necessary, and then how do we remove the unnecessary ones, the ones that get in the way of an experience. And I think there's a lot of times that we get trapped in the more trap, which is, just because we can and because it's easier to do it, and we want to provide an opportunity for every learning style that's out there, we are just going to go ahead and give people more and more and more and more and more.
It
Craig,
says that the total estimated runtime was 21 to 24 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So that makes sense. I mean, like add in the ad lib, that gets us to where we are. So let's cut it in half.
Yeah, I'll tell it. Try to keep the script down to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we'll see where it goes. Production note: at about 22 minutes, this sits comfortably in a 25-minute show with buffer format, ideally for a daily live stream where you want a clean 30-minute time slot with 5 to 8 minutes of breathing room for intro music, audience Q&A, or sponsor reads.
All right. I do appreciate the coaching that I received throughout on different nonverbal reactions that I should give, are these things Emmys? I'm going for an Emmy.
Oh no, they call them, don't they? Isn't there an award show called the Streamies or something like that, or the Webbies?
I don't know, but I have. This
that was great. The clutching your chest was a good one. I thought you effectively
I followed directions. I did exactly what it told me to.
Following directions, Mike. Okay, so there's a lot of production work I still need to do on my end. Obviously, one of the things I want to be able to get the comments up on the screen better, more effectively. So I need to fix that. I also need to, we'll change the script, shorten it up, get Claude to tighten it up a little bit. I think we'll stick with Claude for tomorrow for sure. Obviously because of the date that showed up, I did run this last night, so I didn't run it just beforehand because I wanted to, just test out producing it a little bit more. And getting the graphics ready and seeing if I could get this to work. I thought this worked out pretty good. I'm gonna move the layout around a little bit, but this
is there a button, like as the host? Mm-hmm. So you're the host. Can you highlight over the comments and click on a comment to show the comment?
That's what I'm going to do. I know you can. I was trying to do it live and I haven't been able to figure it out. So I know there's a super easy way to do it. What
if you just move your cursor over the comment right now? Like you've got the comments on the right-hand side, right?
Yeah.
Like you see all the comments?
Yeah, but right. So if I do it from the YouTube channel.
No, not from the YouTube channel. Do it from inside Ecamm. So in
Yeah.
Ecamm,
Oh, I know I am. And I tried right clicking on them. All it says is copy text, copy avatar, and then there's a favorite button. But
you
you're
can't do
absolutely
that.
right. There is a way for me to, like the way Restream did it. I should be able to just click a button and say show it on the screen, and it should pop up there.
What in Restream, what you can do is they're all individual ones, so you can choose which comments you want to put up there. Like you don't have to put all of them up there. It's not.
Oh yeah,
it's not
yeah. No, I get that. Yeah, and that's and Ecamm does that as well. I'd seen it I've seen this format before, and I kind of liked it. And so that's why I did this. But being able to show them individually, I definitely want to do that. Yes.
Yeah.
There weren't any comments yet, and so I wasn't able to test it. So this gives me a good way to figure it out. So I'll figure it out for tomorrow, and it'll be way cooler, because it's kind of why I left this open space at the bottom of the screen in this particular scene, so that if we want to pop things up live, that's the space I was going to put them in. Well,
that's one of the things you get by listening in and watching this, and you'll get it all the time, is we're going to work out loud, which includes testing new things and breaking crap and all of that kind of stuff. I think this is the first show, though, that we've ever done where I didn't curse.
You know what I got? I'm starting an animation with an F-bomb, and so every time you do, I'm gonna have a button for you. So,
Good. So there you go. That's the first time in like 100 some odd versions of this thing. I will do better tomorrow.
don't try.
Oh no, I usually don't try. It's like I think that was part of the thing. It's getting so hung up into the script where it was like, ooh, there's so much stuff I have to read. Like I have to read parentheses. I have to pay attention to where you are on the script so that I can move to the next thing. At the same time, I want to keep my brain moving to the point where I could have a conversation around some of these topic things and not get into what happened yesterday.
You almost got there for an F-bomb on that one story. I mean, the skills one. That's enough to trigger you. Yeah. I'm shocked you didn't drop one there.
Well, it's the thing that irritates me most about that kind of stuff. And I know we've run long. But the thing that irritates me most about that stuff is it gets presented as if it's new. And I think the mistake that you make inside your business when you bring this up is when you present these things as things that are new. Or you present them as something that so-and-so said. Take the information and use it to ask a question. And have the person that you're trying to present it to realize, ooh, I've already been here. I've done some of this stuff. This was kind of some of the stuff that we were dealing with before. Here's how we work through it. Like, ask better questions, get better answers. Anyhow, on to the next.
I just realized I forgot to adjust for the time change.
What do you mean?
The ticker on the bottom of the screen says 8 a.m. Eastern time. And with the time change, it's moved to 9 a.m. Eastern time. So I fixed it. Anyways, yep, that's it for today, folks. Wendy, thank you. Craig, thank you. This is so much more fun when there's people in the comments, and we're going to get better at monitoring and watching your comments. So it's just going to take us a little time. We're still finding our groove, but thanks for grooving with us. We'll be back tomorrow.
If you want to stay connected with the show and share it with others, because that's what will help us kind of spread the word and get the message out there, head to livewithbrentandmike.com. It's a basic page that's just set up where you put in your email, and then you'll be on our list, and we'll share updates that we've got going on with the show. And we're going to start to do little things like contests, and we've got our hackathon coming up a little bit later this month. We'll get some news out around that. we are just getting started, and we are excited to support you as you continue to work through your journey, as you help others work through their journey. So, Brent, we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.